The Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is a big smartphone in every dimension. In fact, it's not far off from the Samsung's recently released Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. The Mi 10 Ultra is heavy and can be cumbersome if you don't have big hands and deep pockets. Xiaomi went with a glass sandwich design with aluminium rails and carved glass on both sides. On the front, there's a full-size display with a punch hole in the top left and a speaker grill above the glass. The Mi 10 Ultra is not IP certified, which is unfortunate. Other phones at this price point, particularly those from Apple and Samsung, offer protection from water and dust. Xiaomi opted for a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus 120Hz OLED panel instead of a Quad HD Plus screen. At this price, I don't think this is a problem, given there are many amazing tech that's packed into the device. The panel is smooth and fast as well as vibrant with deep contrast. If you don't like the excellent adaptive color setting, you can change it in the comprehensive display settings menu. Brightness was quite good even under direct sunlight. The Mi 10 Ultra was easily viewable. The Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra skips the fresh Snapdragon 865 Plus in favor of the regular 865. Either way, the Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra is very fast. I didn't have a single performance problem in my week with this device. I played lots of games, took many photos and did a lot of multitasking. I just couldn't get the Mi 10 Ultra to stutter. I think it's fair to say that whatever you do on your phone will be light work for this device. It comes with 8, 12 or 16 GB of RAM depending on the variation. Camera wise, the Mi 10 Ultra comes with a quad camera setup. There's the main 48 megapixel main camera, a 20 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 12 megapixel portrait camera and finally a 120x ultra zoom camera. The Xiaomi Mi 10 Ultra takes punchy and contrast heavy images with a fair amount of dynamic range. This device seems to be able to capture white balance well. On dull days the phone took dull photos, on bright days the phone took bright photos. The Mi 10 Ultra's biggest photographic feature is its zoom functionality. Samsung offered 100x zoom in the S20 Ultra, but the Xiaomi is offering 120x in the Mi 10 Ultra. I found the Mi 10 Ultra's night mode to be one of the worst I have ever encountered on a flagship smartphone. It struggled with flares, captured very little detail and was overall rather disappointing. On the front, there is a single 20 megapixel camera for selfie duties. The Mi 10 Ultra takes some decent selfies, but there is a fair amount of skin smoothing going on. Selfie portrait mode photos seem to look rather realistic. The Mi 10 Ultra's video is average at best. It's got 8K video at 24 fps alongside the standard UHD 60 fps mode. There's also a 960 fps slow motion mode. On the surface, the Mi 10 Ultra's battery is an average size for this class of smartphone. It's a 4500 mAh cell in a device with 5 cameras, a power-hungry chipset and a big high refresh rate display. Xiaomi's software, however, works aggressively in the background, killing applications and optimizing power usage to deliver good battery life. The device charged from 0 to 100% in just 21 minutes in our testing. It includes 120 watt fast charging. It also comes with 50 watt wireless charging and 10 watt reverse wireless charging. The Redmi K30 Ultra comes with a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus Samsung AMOLED screen with 120Hz refresh rate. It has HDR10 Plus support. The screen itself is vibrant and rich with colors. You will not face any problem in daytime because of its high brightness output. The K30 Ultra is powered by MediaTek's flagship processor, the Dimensity 1000 Plus chipset. This is a very powerful chipset. You will not find any lag or stutter during day-to-day uses and gameplay experience is amazing. It supports 5G with carrier aggregation and MediaTek proprietary 5G Ultra PowerSave power-saving technology. The device comes in 4 variants, 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage or 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage up to 512GB. On the camera segment, the Redmi K30 Ultra features a quad camera setup at the back. The main camera here is a 64 megapixel Sony sensor, a 13 megapixel 190 degree wide angle lens, followed by a 5 megapixel telephoto lens and a portrait lens. Over to the front, you get a pop-up camera with 20 megapixel snapper. You will get flagship level picture quality with this device. The camera captures great details. Color reproduction is great. Even at night it does better than many mid-level smartphones. You can record 4K video at 30 fps and 1080p super slow-mo video at 960 fps. This device is backed by a 4500 mAh battery with 33 watt fast charging support over the Type-C interface. The Xiaomi Mi 10 and Mi 10 Pro look very similar, with screens that curve at the edges and that are broken up by punch-hole cutout cameras in the top left of the display. On the back there's a camera bump in the top left corner. These phones have a 6.67-inch OLED screen with HDR10+ support and a screen refresh rate of 90Hz to make content and motion look a bit smoother. The Xiaomi Mi 10 and Mi 10 Pro both run on the top-end Snapdragon 865 chipset paired with 12GB of RAM and 512GB of storage options. That chipset has an adjacent 5G modem. One of the most important features of the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro is the 108MP main camera, which takes fantastic pictures and supports 8K video recording like the Samsung Galaxy S20 series. The Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro has a 20MP ultra-wide camera and two telephoto lenses. One of these is 8MP and supports 10x hybrid zoom, and the other is 12MP with 2x optical zoom, which is used for portrait mode. Pictures taken with the phone looks great and delivers great dynamic range and color accuracy. It also have a 20MP front-facing camera, which is a pretty decent resolution for selfie snapper. It comes with 4500mAh battery capacity. This phone has a 50W fast charging, 30W wireless charging and 10W reverse wireless charging, which lets you use the device as a wireless power mat for other devices. Xiaomi has a reputation for producing quality phones at affordable prices, and Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro 5G is another example of that. The Mi Note 10 Pro brings all the features of a top-end phone but without the top-end price tag. It's got a beautiful curved edge screen with a 6.47-inch Super AMOLED display. The colors really pop, max brightness is pretty high, images look textured and contrast is good. At the top of the screen there is a small teardrop notch in the center which houses the front-facing camera. There is a Snapdragon 730G chipset here paired with 8GB of RAM, which is a decent mid-range processor that's optimized for gaming. The headline feature of the Xiaomi Mi Note 10 Pro is its camera. The 108MP main sensor is the first of its kind on a smartphone in the world, and it's such an important part of the phone's identity and Xiaomi's marketing strategy. There are 5 lenses on the back. The main camera is 108MP. An optical image stabilizer for the main lens is on board, as is a flash. The main rear camera is joined by a 12MP sensor with 2x telephoto lens for the portrait mode, a second telephoto snapper, this one with 5x zoom and 5MP sensor for zoomed shot, another 20MP ultra-wide camera, and finally a 2MP macro snapper. The main 108MP camera takes absolutely incredible shots. Forget the iPhone 11 Pro, Huawei P30 or even Realme X2 Pro. This phone takes some of the best looking pictures you will get from a smartphone. Everything here is on point, colors are rich, contrast is great and images are bright. Also you can record 4K video at 30fps. On the front, the Xiaomi Mi Note 10 Pro has a 32MP camera housed in the teardrop notch, and it comes with various filters and features. Selfies looked pretty vibrant and high quality. The Xiaomi Mi Note 10 Pro's battery capacity is 5260mAh, which is a lot bigger than what you get in most modern smartphones. It also supports 30W fast charging. The Xiaomi Mi Note 10 Pro is a powerhouse in so many ways, and we can definitely recommend buying this phone. Xiaomi Mi 10 seemed to fit all the criteria of a premium flagship. The display could impress many people. This phone have a 6.67-inch OLED touchscreen with HDR10+ support and a screen refresh rate of 90Hz to make content and motion look a bit smoother. Screen curves at the edges, and there is also a punch-hole cutout camera in the top left of the display. The Xiaomi Mi 10 used the top-end Snapdragon 865 chipset coupled with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. That chipset has an adjacent 5G modem. One of the most important features of the Xiaomi Mi 10 is the 108MP main camera, which takes fantastic picture and supports 8K video recording like the Samsung Galaxy S20 series. There's also a 13MP ultra-wide camera, a 2MP macro snapper and a 2MP depth sensor. All of these different lenses work smoothly and delivers stunning picture quality. When capturing still images, target exposure is stable and accurate. Further, Xiaomi has improved the dynamic range over the last year's phones. It have a 20MP front-facing camera too, which is a pretty decent resolution for the selfie snapper. Pictures are good enough for the price range. In terms of battery, the Xiaomi Mi 10 actually has the larger power pack than the Mi 10 Pro with a 4780 mAh battery capacity, so the Mi 10 will likely last a bit longer. It has 30W fast charging, 30W wireless charging and 10W reverse wireless charging, which lets you use the device as a wireless power mat for other devices.